NYPA. It's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter spinners web into a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man is say? We spitting live wireless, leave you shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. I fly so deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Horton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up a question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue call for directions, just team on their grind time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, a murder it for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. It's your boy KJ broadcasting live from the NYPA studio, and which is mid to late September. So thank you for joining me today. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to press I get out, y'all, subscribe button, or listening or anything with Spotify. Subscribe and get notifications for brand new episodes of NYPA Entertainment Radio. Which is in its final run. I'm ending this show in December, and in 2026 coming back with Who Is Kyle Glamour. Same look, different name, different changes, and so forth. Next weekend, actually. Originally, I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to acknowledge my 15th season and just close it out in December. I was going to ride 14 on out, but I'm going to acknowledge that season 15 starts next weekend, actually the 26th, which is next Friday, is when the show premiered 14 and a half years ago. So I want to acknowledge that, and then I'm shut it down. It's bittersweet, but something I need to do and want to do and move on to the next chapter. It's been a lot of fun, and have a great vision for the new show. It's something that, I kind of wanted in NYPA Entertainment. I go into depth next week, and then, of course, when the finale in sometime in December. But I kind of wanted if I was going to end it, I wanted to continue over, I should say. But things happened that I told stories about behind the scenes, and I just think that it's just time to move on. A lot of people thought that I was going to stop doing the show, and I didn't. And actually, I was one of the people that thought I was going to stop, but I decided I wanted to end on my own terms, and I wanted to do it my way and just go out the way I want to do it, and I just stop because other people are not involved, or this wasn't happening, or that person left, or this person left, or whatever the case may be. I wanted to say, well, I'm going to end it my way. It's my show. I own it. It's me. It's all me. I co-created it. I give acknowledgement to the other person who helped create it, but overall, it's my baby that I've raised in the past 14 and a half years. Through all the obstacles, I kept this thing going. So I figure I'm going to let it end the way I want to end it at the end of the day. So season 15 is next week, and I'm ending it in December, and that's the final run. That's it. And then Who Is Kyle Graham? It will pop up in 2026. When exactly? I don't know. It's a lot of work. I got to go into it because I got to, just redo everything, logo. I'm going to peek behind the curtain, logo, theme, and all that stuff. And like I said, I have a list of people I want to get involved as guests that originally I wanted to do for this show. But I was like, well, I'm not really trying to promote. It's coming to an end. I'd rather put it on the stage of the new show at the end of the day. I'd rather do it that way. Because that show, I'll keep adjusting this camera, I'm sorry. Because that show it's going to precede this one and so forth. Well, overall, like I said, thank you for tuning in for this week. Next weekend, season 15 starts, and final ride, baby. The final ride to December of this year, and then shutting it down for good. And then I pop up in 26 with Who is Kyle Graham. So there you go. A lot to get into. A lot of things happening this week. Normally, if you have watched the show, I'm not really a political person, privately or publicly. I keep my views to myself, and I don't get into that. This is not that type of platform. This is entertainment, fun, gossip, guests. It used to be music type of show. It's just to have fun and so forth, have the opinions and things of that nature. And eventually, this I will maybe do a live stream where I can get you guys involved also. But what's interesting is what happened politically kind of bleeds into the world of entertainment that I talk about and involved in with it comes to freedom of speech. Now, listen, there's a lot going on since what happened with the assassination and so forth. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not a political person. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying anything. What I will say is this: you know, it's crazy how we stand on the ground of this being a freedom of speech type country and the First Amendment and all that stuff. And you're right. So, fighting into that, I mean, well, no, let me back up again. So, what it is that since the whole tragic situation with the assassination, people have been saying a lot, and then you can't say this, you can't say that. And I do believe in freedom of speech, whether you like it or not. If you don't like what someone says, you ain't gotta listen to them. You could just ignore it. As much as they spew the hatred and all that stuff, I get it. I get it. But there's no cause for harm to anyone or to stipend them or any of that. There's no need to. Let them speak. Let them speak. Whether you ain't gotta listen to it, you ain't gotta pay attention to it. You can turn them off, do whatever. No harm should come to anyone who speaks their mind, whether you like it or not. It's stupid. We have that right to protest, march, or whatever. Whether you're on this side or that side, right side, left side, up, down, doesn't matter. I don't care what sides. All sides are shady to me, and I'm not gonna get to all that. But at the end of the day, it incenses me when now we're questioning. We can't say anything. Jimmy Kimmel got pulled off this week for saying the statement / joke. He has the right to say that. He didn't say nothing disrespectful. He just said something. And it's a comedian. It's art. He said it, and that was it. A lot of people have came to his aid, such as Ben Stiller, Wanda Sykes, and more Hollywood stars react to Jimmy Kimmel being pulled from ABC. Quote, "This isn't right." On Wednesday, this past Wednesday, a spokesman for Disney ABC confirmed that Jimmy Kimmel Live would be on indefinite hiatus. The decision came after Kimmel made comments about the death of right-wing commentator Charlie Kirk, who was fatally shot while speaking at a campus event in Utah Valley University Wednesday, September 10th. He was 31. Kimmel reacted during a broadcast of his show on Monday, September 15th, saying that the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them doing everything that can be scored political points from it. And between the finger pointing, there was grieving. Nexstar Media, which is the largest local broadcast and digital media company in the U.S., said that it strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the programming in its ABC affiliate markets. Nexstar recently announced plans to acquire rival broadcast company Tegna for $6.2 billion, a massive deal that will further consolidate the local television landscape and put Nexstar in 80% of America's TV-owning households, according to a press release. The acquisition will require final approval from the Trump-controlled Federal Communications Commission. The FCC chair Brendan Carr quickly praised Nexstar on Wednesday for putting pressure on ABC to remove Kimmel, writing on Twitter, "It is important for broadcasters to push back on Disney programming that may determine fall that they determine fall short of community values." After the announcement made After the announcement, many celebrities reacted to the news online. Comedian Wanda Sykes shared a video on Instagram explaining that she was scheduled to appear on Kimmel Wednesday night. Quote, he didn't end the Ukraine war or solve Gaza within the first week, but he did end freedom of speech within his first year. Hey, for those of you who pray, now's the time to do it. Love you, Jimmy, Sykes said. Uh, I spent a lot of time in the public, private defending comedians. I don't agree with comedian Mike Big Glee said on Instagram. If you're a comedian, don't call out the insanity of pulling Kimmel off the air. Don't bother. I'll get out, y'all. Spouting off about free speech anymore. Fellow comedians Roseanne Barr wrote on Twitter, "I'm available to fill in ABC Network," while Rosie O'Donnell shared a photo of Kimmel on Instagram and wrote, "This is unacceptable. F the fascist administrative and corrupt corporation executives bowing to the orange monster. America is no more." And it goes on, and everyone has their opinion and so forth. Where did we go wrong in this country? Where all of a sudden we can't say how we feel? Where it seems like if you say something that's not popular, you get shut down. It's wrong. Everything is wrong. What he said was a statement, whatever, let it go. But to pull him off the air, put him on hiatus, is crazy. Because dig the move. You pull the show off the air as a host with Jimmy Kimmel, it's not going to affect him financially. No, because he got millions, he'll be fine, he'll move on. But then you have the staff, you have the crew, the camera people, who are there unionized and so forth, and caterers and production assistants and so forth. This is their day-to-day job. People in their office who now I don't know if they got paid. I don't know if they got suspended. They still get paid. They didn't say, but I will hope they are. And if not, that's messed up because this is people's livelihood. This is their only job. They got mortgages. They got college tuitions and all this stuff and bills and mortgages and the whole nine. So this affects those behind the scene that you don't see that helps put the show together. You know what I mean? This is their job. So I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if they said, all right, you still will get a paycheck. We don't know. It could say suspended and whatever. The show may or may not come back. Who knows? But this affects people financially. So when you pull the show, it doesn't affect Jimmy Kimmel all that much. He's fine. But what about those who need this on a day-to-day basis that pay bills? Like I said, the caterers, the production assistants, the people in the office, the crew, the grips, the camera guys, the editors. This is their livelihood. This is what they do to pay bills, to get by, and so forth. You take that away, they're out of work, and it's crazy that we are split. It's finger pointing, and you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't say that. But yeah, we want to be the country that's like, oh, land of the free, home of the brave, freedom of speech, when it's not. What happened? I mean, the easy thing to say we know what happened, but it's ugly and it's crazy that you have someone controlling what someone's saying cannot say. If you don't agree with the masses, they snatch you off the air, and people applaud that. But yeah, at the same time, they're saying we're the greatest country in the world, and you have the right to speak your mind. Everyone has a right to speak. Well, again, whether you like it or not, you don't have to like what anyone says. But as vile as it may sound, you don't have to. And it's ridiculous. When I saw the headline that they snatched him off the air, I said, okay, that's a little excessive. You don't like what he said, then say you don't. Send him a fine or whatever. But to take him off indefinitely, what type of message did that send to everywhere around the world? We're the laughing stock. We used to be this strong country and freedom of this, and it's not. It's not. I don't care if you're on the left. I don't care if you're on the right. I don't care if you're north. I don't care if you're south. I don't care if you're in the back. I don't care if you're in the front. I don't care if you're Bloods. I don't care if you're Crips. I don't give a flying fuck. What I do care about is the fact that everyone collectively, we need to, cheesy it may sound, come together. Let's just forget about what side you're on and stop judging people on race, color, creed, him or her. Let's judge them with human beings. If the person's an asshole, they're an asshole. Not because they're black, white, Asian, gay, straight, doesn't matter. It's too much nonsense going on. There's a lot of hate out there in the world. You can feel it every time you watch the television. The news, I try to avoid it. It's messed up, you know? And it is just like, there's nothing you can do. This is it. We just got to ride this out. Believe whatever, pray to whoever high power you believe in. You get through this travesty of censoring people and condemning them for saying the wrong things. No one should be hurt. No one should be killed. No one should be punched, fought. No one should be shot down, stabbed for fighting for what they believe in and whether you like it or not. It's just what it is. It's not up to us to judge if this person deserves that or not. We're not the higher power. So at the end of the day, let them speak ill will of whatever. Let them speak good stuff. Let them speak. You ain't gotta listen to it. You ain't gotta condone it. You can ignore it. Just look the other way. Let them spew that stuff. If people choose to believe it, then let them believe it. But we all have the right to speak our minds. Period. Now, I'm gonna go my soapbox, but it's something like I said. It kind of bleed into my world. I usually don't get political, but it bleeds into the world of entertainment and freedom of speech and all that stuff. And to see that a show got taken off the air because he said a statement slash joke after that, and someone didn't like it. That's crazy. He has the right to say that. Same way Charlie Kirk has the right to say what he has to say. They do. Whether you agree, they do. Everyone has that right. I'm not on either side. I can give a flying fuck, like I said, about left, right, up, down, east, south, west, Bloods, Crip. Doesn't matter. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, just let them talk. You ain't gotta listen to them. Just let people talk. Just let them talk. At the end of the day, whether it's ignorance or not, it's nothing. Just go with it. Let that person talk and keep it moving. And that's it. And that's supposed to be the First Amendment, but that doesn't exist anymore. So I'm stepping down off the soapbox. I'm kicking the soapbox into the corner. We're moving on. Say what I had to say. Hopefully, I make some sense and not rambling. But that's it. I'm done. I'm done with that one. Not done with the show. I'm just done with that topic. Let's move on. All right. Let's see what I got. What else I'm gonna get into? I got a lot of things. Oh man. Oh man. All right. If y'all big thing entertainment also, the Dame Dash interview on another show. I don't promote the show, but you know what I'm talking about. I normally don't watch that other show because it's not that entertaining, and certain people on the show I don't like. But I started seeing clips first, and I watched the whole thing. It's hilarious, and it's funny between Charlemagne and Dame Dash. Hilarious, and the day after, a big fallout happened from what Dame Dash said about being the chairman. Let's read about it. Then there's a counterpart to what I'm going to read. You know, so it says Revolt's legal team has denied Dame Dash claim of being appointed temporary chairman of the media, calling it completely false. Let me back up. I think I had the original one. I did. Let me see. Yeah. No. I got it here. It says, nah. Okay. It was, I had the original article, and then they had something else that said, nah, that's not real. Okay. This might be it. I think this is it. Okay. Might be the same thing. I might have updated this. On Wednesday, September 15th, Indy Piper, general counsel for Off Script Worldwide, Revolt's parent company, responded to Vibe's request for comment regarding Dash alleged misrepresentation of the facts. I was looking for the article and I thought I had it and I didn't. I thought I uploaded it and I did. I might have did the same one twice. Um, so Revolt and its CEO Detavio Samuel described the information regarding Dash's announcement in an initial report published Tuesday, September 16th. He says Dame Dash has not been appointed chairman of Revolt, either temporarily or permanently. Piper told Vibe via email. At no point when Mr. Dash held this title or position within the company. In addition, Revolt contends that a quote attributed to the company's CEO, Detavio Samuels, celebrating a proposed partnership between Dash and Revolt was fake and not provided by Samuels. The quote uh, attributed, I can read, to Detavio Samuels in any release Vibe received from Fabricated did not come from him. Piper wrote on behalf of the executive who Dash claimed he had a mutual agreement with regarding an alleged Revolt partnership. However, Piper said that Samuels and Dash have a handshake agreement regarding Revolt's potential distribution of Dash's content series Bosses Take Losses and the corresponding economics surrounding it. Finalizing the deal was always contingent on legal documentation, Piper wrote, deeming Dash reveal of the news as premature. No such documentation exists, and Mr. Dash was not authorized to announce it. The lawyer also clarified that the trailer for named docuseries My Paid in Full contains the Revolt logo and branding despite not having authorization to do so. In our initial report, which has been removed for factual inaccuracy, that's probably why I can't find it. Vibe announced Dash's supposed interim role as chairman of Revolt, a position that the 54-year-old also revealed on The Breakfast Club. I hate that show. I don't mean to promote it. During the interview, Dash claimed that his alleged position as chairman of Revolt was temporary and would end after 1 month before attempting to acquire Revolt. In an email obtained by the Shade Room, Revolt's CEO debunked reports of Dash appointments as chairman, assuring the employees that an acquisition path for Revolt by Dash was non-existent and not on the table. While Samuels credited the mogul with a proven track record as a creator, disclosing that he and Dash had been in discussions regarding licensing his shows and films, he made it clear that his team would be privy to Dash becoming chairman and that the announcement would have been made directly by him. Prior to Dash claims of having been given the temporary role, Cameron, who hosted the Talk with Flea show on Revolt, was appointed CEO of the company as honorary role he held for 1 day on August 12th. Despite conflicting reports regarding his dealings with Samuels and Revolt, Dash has remained adamant that Samuels was aware of his desire to pursue a purchase of the company as well as the appointment as chairman, which the mogul alleges was actually suggested by a member of Samuel's staff, not himself. Of course, Dash has no comment when we reached out to him. So the original article, they must have took it down and went back to the website. But he said if you watch the interview that he'll be the chairman of Revolt. It was funny. Charlemagne, like, I think you're lying. He said, I think you're lying. And the next day it came out that this has never happened. Like, this situation is not real. And DeVito Samuels is like, I never had this conversation with this cat. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't have no idea what he means, and he said it adamantly, meaning Dash. During the interview, you go back and watch it. He's very, very adamant that he was the chairman for at least for 1 month, and he's been trying to purchase it and so forth. And it makes him look silly, and there's a lot of egg on his face because he's beating his chest and he's really like, I'm this and this and I'm doing that, and they're saying, well, no, you're not. You're not. Like you like the dude. Like, what are you talking about? So dig the move. And I know what you're saying is obvious, but did someone's lying? And he was what? Well, obviously, Dame is lying, or DeVito Samuels could be lying. You know what I'm going with this, right? They're his side, his side, right there in the middle is the truth. Somewhere right there in the middle is the truth. That's your side, Samuel's side. Wow, right there in the middle. It's the truth. So, I mean, it's easy to point fingers and say, well, Dash is lying because Samuel said that never happened. Possibly. Samuels could be lying too. Possibly. It's a crazy situation. It's a weird situation at the end of the day. Um, and I don't adjust the camera again. I'm sorry, y'all. Uh, I don't understand why would anyone lie. Why would Dame Dash lie? Look like he's lying to say he is. Say he is lying. And it looks like he is, and maybe he in the conversation he misconstrued what was said. Maybe in a joking manner, they was like, "Yeah, ha ha, yeah, man, CEO, you beat the CEO, you beat the chairman, and who knows?" But it makes him look silly. He hasn't really, he being Dash, has yet commented on the rejection Revolt said in terms of like it's not true. Like we didn't say that. We didn't say that you are the chairman. You're not the chairman. So there's no comment been made. So I'm kind of curious to find out his side of it because everybody wants to know. Like, well, you came on there and you told everyone over and over again, millions of people, I am this, I'm Cam's boss, and blah blah. If you go back and watch the interview, and he stood firm and he stand firm and he's letting everybody know, like, I'm that dude. I'm a boss. I talk boss language and this and all that. And Revolt is like, we have no idea what you're talking about. We're supposed to be doing bosses with losses. You're not. There's no talk to you buying it or whatever. Who knows? Well, apologies for yawning, but who knows? Um, but it just doesn't look good. It left Dan without an egg on his face. You know what I mean? Because he was beating his chest saying, "I'm this, I'm chairman, I'm whatever." It just doesn't look good, man. It's really silly at the end of the day. And I really would like to know his side of it. I really would like to know Dash's comments towards Samuel after what he said that never happened. That's not going to happen. There's no acquisition. No one made you chairman, and so forth. The best way you can say it publicly. Behind the scenes, like this motherfucker crazy. Like, why is he lying? So I would love to hear Dame's explanation uh, uh, to what DeVito Samuel said about him being a chairman and all this other stuff at Revolt, and it's not happening. So I would love to know what his thoughts on that. It should be very entertaining. And eventually he's gonna have to say something. Somewhere down the line, he's gonna have to say something. What it will be, who knows, but he's gonna have to say something at the end of the day. You know what I mean? All right, moving on. But it's just it's crazy. Like it's just that he would go on and just that he would just say all this. I mean, he was adamant. I mean, adamant that was his shit. Like that was he was just adamant. I don't understand. He was really adamant about it, and so maybe he misconstrued it. I don't know. I can't shake that. Like he was like dead pressed. Like yeah, that's it. And he was yeah. But anyway, speaking of Dash, we go to Jay-Z. Here's a boss with a loss. No dice Jay-Z Times Square casino bid struck down by officials. A state board this past Wednesday rejected the Times Square casino bid from rapper Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and other companies. The gaming facility proposal for 1515 Broadway, also involving Caesars Entertainment and St. Green Realty, was struck down by the six-member state community advisory committee in a 4-2 vote. Um, Go running hot. SL Green CEO Mark Holliday rallied afterward at the four member who voted against the bill. You have to live with that history forever. Uh, the nay votes came from representatives for Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine, State Senator Liz Kruger, Assemblyman Tony Simone, and Councilman Ed Botcher. Appointee of Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams voted aye. The rejection marked a victory for the Broadway League of Theater Owners, which spearheaded opposition with Manhattan West Side residents via the No Times Square Casino Coalition. Most residents of the area we heard from are opposed. The Broadway theater industry is adamantly opposed, and they make a strong case a casino in the area would do major damage to the gym, GEM, the gym. It's a gym anyway. Said Richard Godfrey, Kruger's appointee on the state local sitting board. There's a lot. There's a lot of other places in the city where a casino could thrive. Godfrey, a former Manhattan Assemblyman, said Godfrey, a former Manhattan Assembly member. The casino bid was backed by Reverend Al Sharpton, National Action Network, entertainers such as Robert Fat Joe, a various construction trade and other unions who touted the gaming hub as creating jobs and ownership stake for minorities. But there you go. Sharpton, who has, sorry, I just hate this pop-ups. Sharpton, who was seen at the meeting, told the Post he was disappointed with the outcome, saying he has supported the proposal as long as a way to bring more minority ownership into the entertainment industry. I was here for Jay-Z, he said. We haven't seen black ownership in the entertainment industry in Times Square. I was disappointed that they didn't break the color line. Jason Lax, a president of the Broadway League and a member of No Times Square Casino Coalition, hailed the rejection of the proposal in a statement calling a vote to protect the magic of Broadway for the 100,000 New Yorkers who depend on it for their livelihoods and for the tens of millions who come around the world to experience it. A casino can go anywhere, but Broadway only lives here, Lax says. A second casino bid, World Trade Center developer Larry Silverstein, Avenir Manhattan Gaming Facility proposed for 11th Avenue and West 41st Street was rejected by the local sitting board Wednesday in a 4-2 vote. Only the mayor and governor reps voted aye. Botcher, who reps had votes on both proposals, said a casino was not welcome and on the west side. Quote, this is a decision. It's not a decision I took lightly. All economic development opportunities deserve strong consideration. I believe casinos must clear a particularly high bar, requiring a uniquely strong degree of community buy-in before being cited in a neighborhood, Botcher said in a statement. If the community, despite extensive outreach by the applicants, Botcher said the level of support had not materialized. If the community advisory group had approved the Times Square Caesars and Silverstein Avenir bids, the proposal would have been forwarded to the statewide gaming facility location board for further review. Obviously, we are disappointed that our West Side elected officials did not see a path forward for the Avenir project. We are grateful to everyone who has supported the project and partnered with us, partnered with our team throughout the process I'll get out, y'all, throughout this process, and appreciate their confidence in our vision for the far west side. Said Dino Fusco, COO of Silverstein Properties. The State Gaming Commission will issue up to 3 casino licenses by year's end upon recommendations from the Gaming Facility Location Board. Uh, what's interesting about that is it would have been weird. 5015 Broadway, that building is a staple right there in Times Square. I've been in and out of there years ago, dropping off resumes and stuff like that, and walking past it. And I get it; they want to make it to a casino. I mean, you can put something else in there, and I think it does take away from the luster of Times Square. Being a former New Yorker who lived there, I get it. I understand, jobs and so forth for minorities, but it does take away, and and the casinos do draw another type of element there. The crime rate will go up because it's a casino, so people want to try or whatever. You get a different demographics with dealing with a casino than say something that's supposed to be more family friendly, like Broadway plays and so forth. And there's other parts I believe you can put the casino in. Just gotta find it. For some strange reason, they don't want it in downtown Manhattan. But for some strange reason, they're going to try to. I would not be surprised because they say, "Oh, it draws this, it draws that, and it takes away." I would not be surprised if they try to put that joint in Harlem. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to put it in Harlem, in the area where minorities are, and we know casinos draw just. How can I say it? It sometimes may draw some unsavory characters. It's a casino. You know what I'm saying? It does. I hate to say it, but it's true. All night drinking, gambling, and shit like that, and people getting unruly. So I wouldn't be surprised down the line they'll put it maybe somewhere like in Brooklyn or somewhere in Harlem. It's not going to go away for good, but just not in that area. And I get it. You want to, uh, it would have gave a lot of jobs, but also I think it would have took away from the luster of Times Square itself. And I mean, Times Square been through a lot of changes. The Times Square I remember, I miss it. It ain't the same. We have Virgin Records, and when 1515 Broadway was thriving with MTV Studios, it might still be in there. I'm not too sure, but I think I think it's the right move. I think it's the wrong location. It definitely would have changed the vibe because Times Square is a family friendly type place where families come from around the world. Look at the big old bright lights and stuff like that. That's a real statement that I once heard. And Mike, if you're watching this episode, he's seen that one. Look at all the bright lights. I'll tell you the story. I was in Times Square years ago, and I was showing him. I mention Mike all the time. Shout out to Mike, my best friend. And he came to visit me. We was down Times Square, looking at ass and enjoying ourselves. We're walking, and it's a true story. It was just a family behind us, and it was the mother, and she was like, "Wow, look at all the bright lights." And we both looked at each other, and we kind of laughed, like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they were like it. It is like out of a movie or a TV episode or something. And I was like, "Oh yeah, they're from a small town. You might as well just put a sign on you like, rob me, please. I'm some hick from a small town." Because look at all the bright lights. And we just looked at each other like, "Oh shit." We started laughing like, "Oh my God, you just say a little bit louder so you could just be open to a robbery or something." I don't know. But it is definitely a family type vibe there. People from all around the world come there every year throughout the year, especially going to the holidays and the summer times and so forth. It it definitely would have had a different vibe to it if it was there. So hopefully they find another home for it somewhere that'll be fit perfectly and it gives job opportunities for everyone and it works out and be successful. But I don't think this is the end of it at all. It's just not now, not in that location. They'll find somewhere else. It's not dead. It's probably on pause right now, and it'll pop back up somewhere down the line. I'm sure they're looking at another location right now. Will it be just be perfect to have that. But right now, it's not gonna be on the west side. It's not gonna be on. They like, nah, no way, not here. Put it somewhere else, man. So we'll see. It'll pop back up somewhere down the line. For some reason, I think it's gonna be in Brooklyn, or it's gonna be somewhere in Harlem. I have the strangest feeling that just, and I might be wrong, but I think it'll be Brooklyn or Harlem. They're gonna have that casino appear. You know what I mean? So don't be surprised. I won't be surprised, but I think it's gonna happen. All right, let's move on. What else? What else? MMA fighter Raj Jackson arrested on felony charge after assault a pro wrestler in August show. The son of ex-UFC champ Quentin Jackson is being held on a $50,000 bail, Los Angeles County Inmate Records show. Raj Jackson, the son of ex-UFC champion Quentin Rampage Jackson, was arrested on felony charge in Los Angeles nearly a month after he attacked a pro wrestler at a show. Jackson, 25, was arrested this past Thursday and is being held on a $50,000 bail, according to the booking records. It was not immediately clear if Jackson had retained legal representation. The Los Angeles Police Department did not immediately respond to a request to confirm that the arrest was in connection with the August assault of a wrestler, Stuart Smith, whose ring name is Psycho Stu. Video of the incident at the Knox X Pro Wrestling Academy event on August 23rd showed Jackson entering the ring during a match and slamming Smith on the mat before mounting him and punching him in the face more than 24 times, prompting other wrestlers to pull Jackson away. Police responded to the event and said at the time that a felony battery report has been submitted, but that no arrest has been made. Smith, who was unconscious after the attack, was released from the hospital and was home resting as of August 31st, per his Facebook page. He suffered trauma to his jaws, a laceration to his lips, a maxilla bone fracture, and the loss of several teeth after the attack, according to the Post, which said Smith had a long road of recovery. Smith did not immediately respond to Friday's request for the comment of Jackson's arrest. Assault, which Knox X Pro Wrestling Academy was not planned, appeared to stem from an incident earlier in the evening, with a video showing Smith apparently smashing a can on Jackson's head, causing Jackson to get angry. But another video appeared to show the pair making up. A third video appeared to show another wrestler telling Jackson to give someone a receipt, a legitimate strike or attack, usually as a form of retribution for a wayward spot during a match. What was supposed to be planned and agreed upon wrestling spots turned into a selfish, irresponsible act of violence against Mr. Smith. Knox Pro Wrestling Academy said at the time, this egregious act is reprehensible and never should be occurred. Why people gotta try to use big words sound professional when they're giving a statement? You don't have a hard time saying those words. Quentin Jackson condemned his son's actions at the time, calling the incident bad judgment and a work that went wrong. And it post on X, the term "work" is used in wrestling to refer to something that is scripted. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and has no business being involved in an event like this. The elder Jackson said, "I don't condone my son's actions at all." He added that he was very upset that any of this has happened. Well, we'll see what happens next with him. What the charges are going to be, if there'll be jail times, trial, or anything like that. It's all on tape. He did it to himself. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole of racial and political and none of that stuff. That's not that type of show. I'm not going to say that because it's obvious, because there's been a lot of hate threats and racial threats towards Quentin Page, because you have a young African-American beating up a white gentleman who just so happens to have PTSD from serving our country. So already people want to make it a racial thing. It's not a racial thing. It's just that one fool got out of hand and jumped on this man and pounded on him where he could have just let that go after the guy apologized to him. Not everything's about race. Not everything's about political party. It's just for what it is. And some dumbass went in there, lost control of his anger and pounded this individual uh, the way for no reason. The guy did apologize, but he went in and just lost his anger. So let's not make it black, white. Oh, he shouldn't. No, let's not do that because it's easy to do. That's an easy to think. Because if it was a white guy and a white guy, you'd be like, well, get that white guy with me, that white guy. No, but when it's somebody another race, I throw racial slurs at it and demean him. This is it. One human being beat up another human being. Why skin color got to get involved in this? Why everybody got to make everything about skin color? He's an asshole for beating that man down the way he did. If you've seen the footage, it was no reason for that at the end of the day. It ain't about black or white. It doesn't matter. It's an asshole who did something he wasn't supposed to do. He hurt that man. He hurt that man bad, and it shouldn't have happened at all. So he's got to pay for what he did. That's the punishment. I tell my daughter all the time, I'm like, there's consequences to that. Sometimes to the actions that you do that are negative. There's consequences. Life that you can't control. I can't control. I can't protect you from. If you did something wrong out there in the world, yeah, well, that's what you get. There's consequences. Like, I stand by you, but I will tell you that you can get what you deserve because you did it. Knowingly did it. At the end of the day, not a mistake, but you knowingly did this. So what it comes down to is that the guy's going to get punished. He deserves whatever punishment he gets for beating this guy. It's not about race, everybody. Let's not make it about that. Let's just make it about one human being beating up a human being. These racial threats and all this stuff is stupid. That's low-hanging fruit. You got an asshole who lost his temper and beat down this man. Period. It's not about whether he's black, white. It doesn't. But we do make it that way. And that's one of the saddest things about everyone, period. Everywhere. It's just sad. Let's call it what it is. He was an asshole. He was a dickhead. He's a dumb fuck dude who lost his temper, and whatever punishment he gets, he deserves. Now his father, you send Quentin Jackson, who wasn't there, had nothing to do with it. You sending him racial death threats. He was not there. He had nothing to do with it. He wasn't there. But you send them threats to him, and it doesn't make any sense. What's your end game by saying that? Did you just want to say it? I tell you one thing: say it to Quentin's face. Yeah, I don't think you'll finish the word without some teeth falling behind it. It's stupid, and he deserves what he deserves. He pounded that guy like that, and it's messed up. So he deserves punishment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But we got to stop making it something that it wasn't. It was just some fool lost his temper, went in there, beat him down when he wasn't supposed to. Man's unconscious, and she'd be punished. End of story. Let's not make it about race. Stop thinking and making it about race because it's just stupid. This racial thing got to stop, y'all. We got to be better than that. We should be better than that. Hopefully, going forward, we will be better than that. Let's see. I got some stuff here. I'm just trying to figure out which one I wanted. Lizzo criticizes origins of racially charged sampling laws that. Let me do it again. Lizzo criticizes origins of racially charged sampling laws that police black creativity. Now, sampling is synonymous with theft. Can I get it? Okay, I got it. This is in my way. All right. This is opening up about why she feels the origins of sampling laws were racially charged. The Detroit native stopped by $1 million worth of game earlier this week, where she discussed the art of sampling and how it policies, black creativity. Quote, the first time people started sampling was who? It was rappers in the 80s and 90s, she said. They were sampling records because they didn't have access to big studios. They didn't grow up learning how to play bass and stuff like that. There's a lot of. They created the genre of hip hop through sampling records and their parents' vinyls and stuff. There were no sampling laws back then. It was all free fall, so they was just outside, just like, okay, this is just what it is. And then hip hop was born, and it was a beautiful thing. She recalled the early sampling issue of Biz Markie as Warner Brothers Records took his I Need a Haircut album off shelves over his sampling on his Alone Again track. I just feel like the theft I feel like the theft of it all, putting the theft on black culture, that's the part that kind of turns me off, she continued. Hip hop's medium was sampling. Sampling is a black art that bred hip hop. Hip hop was born from sampling, and now sampling synonymous with theft. Lizzo then clarified that she believes the origins of sampling were racially charged as hip hop was built on sampling for much of the 70s and 80s. The origins of sampling laws were racially motivated to me because it was policing black art, she claimed. Co-hosts Gilly and Wallow weren't well informed of the early sampling laws, so they didn't offer much of any rebuttal to Lizzo's claim. However, the Detroit-bred artist ran into sampling issues of her own in 2021 when she was sued by Orlando's Dunning over the use of a recording of him performing a mutual friend's funeral on Lizzo's 2016 track "Coconut Oil." Sampling is a huge thing. Playing unlicensed music on shows is a huge thing now. I don't know about the whole black culture thing in him. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm not too privy to that, but I know they're very sensitive about it. But here's my thing with Lizzo, play a little devil's advocate. Okay, Lizzo, let's say someone sampled one of your songs without permission, becomes a hit. Are you going to go after them for money? Are you going to stop them? Or are you going to say, hey, it's art, it's hip hop, they're black, let them use it? Or are you people going to be like, shut that down, you can't play that, that's Lizzo's music, you got to give her a percentage. So there's a question there. So what if it's your music being sampled? What are you going to say? You going to let them go? Or are you going to make them pay for it, or are you going to sue them? So before you start throwing these accusations out about all this stuff, think about your music. Think about your catalog. Someone uses your likeness as a sample, your voice, one of your songs, somewhere in a hip hop song. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? Are you and your people going to go after them? Are you and your people going to make them pay? Or are you just going to let it go? That's what I want to know. It's difficult. Like, I still have old episodes that I've still to this day that has licensed music, and it was fine back then for a while until like getting the late teens, early 20s, where they really started cranking down. So I have a lot of episodes from a couple of years back or whatever where I was playing music, and so I kind of changed my my platform to go on other platforms because it wasn't licensed. Like when I had the show was over as my outro and it samples Evelyn Champagne King, YouTube flagged it because it had and it wasn't even her saying it. It was someone else singing it, I believe. I think somebody else was, I think someone of mine, I don't know. But the bottom line, if it sounds like something that's out there and is in something that's not licensed, they're going to flag it, and unless you have something saying you can use it. You dig what I'm saying? But it's a very sensitive thing, and I think it's like one of the main reasons that I kind of just changed it all. In my opinion, is why I kind of really like shut it down because it was too much of a hassle, and it wasn't like I wasn't being sneaky. I wasn't selling it. I was just playing music. It wasn't like I was using it to like sell anything. When I had the music, I was having my music playlist. It was pure entertainment. It wasn't like I was like making money or making profit. I was just playing music, but you can't do that, and it changed a lot of things for the show. I had to change up how I approached my show now because I was nervous. I said, man, that was my crutch. When I feel as though I'm talking too much or whatever the case may be, I was like, I leaned on that. I can't use it no more. So I had to make the adjustment. I'm still trying to get adjusted to this. Sometimes there's certain songs I want to play and certain things. I want to have certain music playlists made up or whatever. But at the same time, I was getting tired of putting the list together. So I was kind of over that part of it. But sampling and licensing and using licensed music, but I think goes hand in hand. It's very strict, and it should be for the artists that bust their tails to make that. So I get it. But my question to Lizzo was like, all right, I don't want to hear down the line that you suing a rapper from using for sampling your song without your permission, where you were just saying, oh, they're policing this and that and the other, black culture and creativity. So when that time comes, will we see you, like I said before, will we see you make a big deal or your peoples make a big deal of someone sampling one of your hits on a hip hop song? I want to see that happen. Or will you just let it go because it's hip hop and it's African American culture and so forth? So I'm curious. We'll find out in due time. But she said the statement. I wonder if, like, will you still react that same way if someone makes a song, has your one of your music on there without permission, and becomes a huge hit? Will you have your hand out, your lawyers ready, all that stuff? Because if it comes up down the line that it does, I will refer back to this article in this show what you just said. And it's like, oh man, now the pot calling the kettle black. When you just saying, oh, it's wrong, this, and this, but here you are saying I want my money, and you're kind of doing the policing also. So we'll see. We'll see. What else I got? A couple more things. Let's see here. Actor Gary Busey sentenced to probation after admitting to misconduct at New Jersey horror movie convention. I talked about this a while back. You guys remember this? Actor Gary Busey has been sentenced to 2 years of probation in New Jersey after admitting he inappropriately touching a fan at a 2022 horror movie convention. 81-year-old appeared virtually before a Camden County judge on Thursday. Busey pleaded guilty in August on one count of criminal sexual contact. He had been accused of inappropriate touching by multiple women who attended a Monster Mania convention in 2022 at the Doubletree Hotel in Cherry Hill, minutes outside of Philadelphia. Busey's manager told the AP in August that Busey admitted to touching a woman's buttocks over clothing during a 8 to 10 seconds. 8 to 10 minutes is totally wrong. 8 to 10 seconds photo op. Body cameras video from Cherry Hill police showed multiple officers questioning Busey after the department received reports of inappropriate touching at the convention. The convention posted on Facebook that it was working with law enforcement on an investigation into an alleged incident and that a celebrity guest was removed and instructed not to return following a complaint from the attendees. In the sentencing proceedings before Judge Gwendolyn Blue, I love that name, Gwendolyn Blue, Busey attorney Blair R. Zillman requested a monetary penalty only, saying Busey had health problems including early dementia and mobility issues. Busey is probably best known for playing Buddy Holly in 1978 film The Buddy Holly Story, with other supporting roles like Predator 2, Lethal Weapon. Listen, that man had no early dementia and mobility issues. He was very mobile enough to grab that woman's buttocks and other things. He knew what he was grabbing. Early dementia, you'd be like, who's this? What am I doing? No, my man remembered everything because he admitted to it. Immobility. And immobility in his hands because he's grabbing asses and breasts. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But he ain't, like, don't give me that, oh, he's an old man, he has dementia, blah, blah. No, he knew what the fuck he was doing. He was grabbing asses. That's what he was doing. So let's not go, he didn't know it. He did because he admitted it. The man with dementia would not, like, I don't know what you're talking about. What am I doing here? Hey, what's going on? No, he was grabbing asses. He was grabbing asses and breasts and groping. Yeah, immobility my ass. He had a lot of mobility in his hands. That was a problem. Too much in his hands. He's in there, he's grab assing. Literally grab assing. So don't give me that, oh, he's an old man. Please, forget it. And he got off easy, in my opinion, because nowadays with the Me Too movement, that motherfucker been thrown in jail. He got a slap on the wrist and he get to sit home and he got away with some shit. But those women got to live with that horrifying thing for the rest of their life. He got a slap on the wrist. He just approved probation. He ain't doing nothing else but staying home. 81 years old. So he got off easy. Where anyone else would have been on trial. They would have been, the whole reputation would have been ripped down. They would have took all their money and did some time in jail. He got a slap on the wrist for grabbing asses. So yeah, he got off. He got off easy. He got off real easy in this day and time. He got off easy. I ain't going on that rabbit hole. Don't come on, y'all. I'm not gonna go. No. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I ain't gonna say nothing about being an old white man getting certain privileges. I didn't say that. I'm not saying that. Y'all saying that. That's why y'all looking at me. I'm not gonna say that. You think I'm gonna say that? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. White privilege. Anyway, moving on. Cardi B reveals Janet Jackson, Lizzo, and more featured artists on Am I the Drama? I just hear a voice when I hear that. Am I the Drama? Cardi B asks who else is the drama on Instagram this past Monday before revealing 8 artists who will be featured on her sophomore album. Am I the Drama? I just hear her voice. Before the sophomore album, Am I the Drama drops at the end of the week, the rapper asks on Instagram who else is on Am I the Drama? Cash Cobain, Janet Jackson, Kalani, Lizzo, Megan Thee Stallion, Selena Gomez, Summer Walker, and Tyler. Since Cardi already confirmed and defended her decision to include her and Meg's Billboard Hot 100 hit WAP would be on Amount of Drama, it's no surprise to see the H-Town hottie name on the list of Cardi. On the list, Cardi had also previously tapped Kalani on Ring from her 2018 debut album Invasion of Privacy. Lizzo featured Cardi on her 2021 single Rumors, which reached number 4 on the Hot 100, and Walker included Bitter, narration by Cardi B, on Billboard's topping sophomore album hit Still Over It, which also features Cardi's extended version of Walker and SZA's No Love single. Cardi and Gomez also previously collaborated on DJ Snake's 2018 smash Taki Taki, also featuring Azuna. In July 2024, the Bronx native teased a song meant for her second album that samples Jackson's Funny How Time Flies when you're having fun from her 1986 Ka-cha! Amount of Drama drops Friday, September 19th, which was 2 days ago, via Atlanta Records. Outside of her chart-topping hits WAP and Up, Cardi has released 2 more singles ahead of her long-awaited full-length project, the Hot 100 Top Outside, and the Jay-Z sampling Imaginary Players. And she just announced her 4th child was football player Stephon Diggs. So she's having a red carpet month. You know what I'm saying? So that should be dope. Like I say, if you're a big Cardi B fan, like that should be dope with the songs and the guests and all that stuff. So this is gonna sell a lot. It sounds like a lot of. It sounds to me like a lot of. If I read it correctly, it's like a majority of the songs are songs already made, put on that album. But maybe I read that wrong. I don't know. Nevertheless, people are going to buy it. People are going to download it. People are going to go see her eventually after she gives birth to her 4th child when she goes on tour. So she'll be all right. She'll be fine. It's gonna be a successful album. I already know that because she has a huge fan. I'm not a big fan of her music. I'm not a big Cardi B fan. We all know that. I say that nothing against her, nothing. I just that's just not my bag. It's not my joint. You feel me? So, but I think it'll be very successful and it's gonna make probably get some nomination for Grammys and BET Awards and MTV VMA Awards for next year and all that stuff. So should be successful. It's not for me. I'm not into it. I'm not going to listen to it. But I think it's going to be successful because she's a very talented one overall, smart businesswoman, and she has a huge following, and people are going to download it and go see her. So there you go. I mean, she fine as hell. I'm never going to knock that. I just don't like her music, but she fine as hell. So she fine as hell. Anywho, one for the road. Kanye West tells Kris Jenner he felt emasculated by her and then wife Kim while he was on medication. Kanye West says he felt emasculated by Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner in the new In Whose Name documentary. The disgraced rapper who was dropped by his talent agent in February following a series of anti-Semitic rants can be seen in the documentary sharing a tense phone call with his then wife, now 44, following his 2018 visit to the White House to meet President Donald Trump. Before meeting his then mother-in-law Jenner, West, now 48, can be heard telling someone else on the phone how people try to control him and scare him. I felt emasculated in this home. Kris Jenner and my wife, I felt emasculated, he tells the person on the phone in the documentary, which features footage filmed over 6 years by director Nico Balateros. Probably butchered that name. My apologies. The 3,000 hours of man on the street style footage with Ballesteros, I guess I'm saying this name right, then only 18. He's 18 years old? Filmed with West's permission provides an unvarnished look into the rapper's mental state at the time. While spotting, while spotting a gray sweatshirt and Make America Great Again" cap, spotting. I read that wrong. I'll read that line again. That's my bad. While sporting a gray sweatshirt and Make America Great Again" cap, West confronts Jenner, now 69, with the same frustrations. Y'all emasculated me and made me feel like a piece of shit, and the only way you got away with it is because I was medicated, he said to the businesswoman. He then claims that no one from the family has taken any responsibility for my hospital visit. When West says it's being talked about online a lot and asks if he's lying, Jenner tells him it doesn't matter. It do matter. It does matter. It does matter. He screams as Jenner's boyfriend Corey Gamble tries to mediate. Jenner then tries to tell West that it's Jenner then tries to tell West that it doesn't matter what the internet says and that it matters what we think. What do you think? Did you have any effect on my mental health? West asked her. Jenner then says she did and tells West she loves him. I don't want you to not. I don't want you to. I don't want you to be not perfect. I love you. I want my daughter to love you. I want my daughter to love you the way you want her to love you, she said. Kardashian did not respond to this article. In 2018, West appeared to confirm his bipolar disorder diagnosis alongside the release of his album Yay, which featured I Hate Being Bipolar is Awesome on the cover. The following year, Kardashian also confirmed West's bipolar disorder diagnosis in an interview with Vague. Vogue. I said Vague. I can read, y'all. I meant Vogue. I said Vague. Vogue. My bad. I Before I wrap things up, I want to say something about this. It again, it goes to airing out your dirty laundry in the public. Because you are a celebrity does not mean you have to air your dirty laundry in public. It does not mean you have to tell your personal stuff. You can be private as much as you can be or should be. At the end of the day, if you're having these issues, it's something that you need to. I think you should work on privately. This filming, arguing people, putting on social media, airing dirt. I'm just not a big fan because I'm a private person, so I still understand how civilians and celebrities alike can do that. Sorry, I don't. I still don't understand that, and they do it so comfortably, like it's nothing. They do it and they just run with it, and they do it with a comfort level. I don't understand. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't be that person privately. I can do it like friends behind the scenes and talk to them, but I can't publicly like, oh, I'm going through. I just can't. And if I ever become a big celebrity and stuff like that, um, I'm just trying to stay as private as possible and try to keep my business as minimum as possible from the public eye. I'm not big on. I just never been big on telling my business to a lot of people because it's none of their business. Unless you're part of my inner circle, which is not that big. Um, the less to know, the better. The more to know, the more headaches you get because everybody got an opinion. And I always feel the less people know, the better. At least you can keep track of what is being said. In my opinion, like what they told to other people. Between you two motherfuckers, y'all said something. No one else said anything that detailed. You know what I mean? Then you tell a bunch of people, you can't keep track who said what because you told everybody. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I just don't understand that. And it gets uncomfortable at times when you watch documentaries like Charlie Sheen one, which your mom was done with. As much as I like documentaries about civilians and celebrities alike, it still gets a little uncomfortable at times when they get kind of too deep and personal about their lives and have these conversations that's kind of like I think you need to get it to yourself, homie. Like that's a conversation that has to be held with you and that person and not the whole world. But to each his own. You know what I mean? You have the right to do that. It's one of those things I don't understand. Maybe you guys do. Maybe you guys can explain to me better. The comments, hit me on social media and explain to me why do you think civilians and celebrities alike don't mind airing out their personal issues to the world and so comfortable with it? Is it for attention? Are they looking for help? Is it a cry for help? What is it? I would like to know that. Somebody, because I don't know. I don't get it and I don't understand it. So maybe you guys out there can help me and say something in the comments, get at me and just help me answer that question. Because maybe you're one of them. Maybe you're one of the people out there that does that. Let me know why you do that. What's your end game? What's the purpose? Not judging. I just want to know because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But what I do know, Lord willing, I'm back here next week for the season 15 premiere as the last leg of this run on NYP Entertainment Radio next week. This is in for 14. 15 will have a 3 months run there. That's it. I'm pulling the plug on NYP Entertainment Radio. And like I said, in 2026, Lord willing, it will be Who is Kyle Graham. So that's it, everyone. Remember, press the subscribe button on YouTube and Spotify, more platforms to come when I transition over to the new show. And remember, try to believe whatever high power you believe in. Pray. We'll get through whatever this collectively and individually. Just take it day by day. I know it's easier to say and hard to do. Just try to stay positive. We'll get through it. You'll get through it. And I hope I did my part this week. I tried my best to entertain you the best way possible. Get your mind off your problems for some hours and the change. That's what I try to do each week, is try to be entertaining as much as possible. But thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, small dog that bark in the morning when you're trying to get some sleep. Thank you for watching this week's episode of NYP Entertainment Radio. With that, I bid you adieu. And Lord willing, I will see you next week for another episode in the season 15 premiere, the final 3 months of NYP Entertainment Radio, right here, Riverside, YouTube, Spotify, and so forth. That's it. NYP Entertainment Radio. Lord willing, see you next week. I'm out.